Ambassador, when President Trump came out and asked him a question, how was the meeting, and he said it was a very great meeting. How was that meeting, and what was your takeaway from that meeting?
I think it was better than great, in my humble opinion. Two amazing leaders, very different parts of the world, some differing points of view, have a real understanding and respect of each other. And so the bevy of issues and questions that were given to them were addressed, and I think you'll see that the readout from the meeting was amazingly positive. But I was so proud of both sides.
So you are special employee for the Syria. I will ask a question on Syria then. And where are you in Syria now, especially when it comes to the integration of the SDF to the new Syrian defense system? Are you optimistic about this, and how do you look into the Kurdish aspiration for having more autonomy in Syria?
I'm optimistic on all of it. So the more autonomy issue is with every faction or every minority, which I think the new government is acknowledging, that they want their own education system, they want their own language, they want their own religious practices to be honored. They don't want to be thought of as a secondary class of Syrian. So that takes architecture of how do you design a centralized government that doesn't become a federation that gives all of those factions that right and opportunity. I think it's happening. It's unfortunate that it has to happen with speed bumps. So what happened in El Suaida came early. It was unfortunate. Nobody wants it to continue. We're all working to solve that. I think by year end that kind of the architecture of what happens as to how do you onboard all of the various factions and minorities in a safe and sound way will happen. They're endeavoring to do it. I'm optimistic that with help they can get there.
I hear you that you are not dictating the negotiation between Syrian and the Kurds in Syria, but there's some interpretation in the region that, because you said that maybe federalism doesn't work, that this is the position of the United States, that they are dictating Syria. They don't want to have federalism, but they want to centralize government. This is one. Can you clarify this for our audience? And the second one, how do you look into the fear of the Kurds when they think that maybe they will face the same situation as Druze and the Alawiyat face it with the militia groups?
So look, this president, my boss's point of view is simple. He wants peace and prosperity for everybody. He also sees that colonial dictates for the last 100 years have failed. He's not interested in putting an American or a European or an Asian or a British-based system on top of anybody. That's not what his goal is. His goal is to just allow each region to decide their own destiny. And that's all he's done. He's unwrapped the sanctions. It took a little longer than he thought, and said, you in the region decide what you want it to be. That's it. So we'll usher, we'll help, we'll convince, we'll mollify, but we're not dictating anything.
Did you discuss that in your meeting with President Erdoğan?
Absolutely.
The Syrian issue?
Yes, of course.
And then how was the Turkish position on your role in bringing peace to Syria and having a new Syria that is exclusive and everyone see themselves in the government?
Well, you're adding a lot of things to what you want, right? That wasn't exactly. Well, the question is, how did it go? It went well. That's my answer.